There you are.
Say yes if you're ready. Say yes. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Everybody who's out there, you guys are gonna start.
It doesn't show you. It doesn't show you.
Crazy. When I count 3, 2, 1, just like insane, crazy. If your team just won the Super Bowl, if your kid just won the state championship, whatever it is, go nuts and crazy because this is how we're gonna
And come to my room, count me in.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, you with me? All right, the count at 3, 2, 1.
Any other presentations?
3, 2, 1.
No.
Good. Screen is dialed and ready, right?
Yep.
Can you switch up and start on all pages?
Yeah, we've been posting this morning, and so we posted this morning. You want to do it right now?
We're 7 hours later, so
Okay.
they're not looking at their phones.
Okay.
Tell them we wanted to hear Rouse.
Okay.
Phenomenal event tonight, guys. And I am now going to pass this mic right on to our first gentleman who will be introducing our first speaker. So, ladies and gentlemen, please make this gentleman feel welcome, Mr. Tom Chenault.
This will be the we are so pumped. The screen, we're streaming this. Because that camera doesn't look like it's in with me. Hello, everybody. So, one thing I know about is cameras here at me. So, I'm Tom Chenault. I live here in Wallach, Colorado. We want to thank all of you for coming down here tonight. This is going to be an epic event. Never before have we had anything like the lineup we've got. And it's going to go fast. It's going to go furious. First, we're going to have Dr. James Rouse. He's going to go for 30 minutes. Then we're going to go right into Ben Fuchs. He's going to do 30 minutes. Then we might take a short break. I'm kind of pondering that, but probably not. And we're going to go straight to Dr. Wallach. And you are going to hear some information that makes dead doctors don't lie feel obsolete. You are going to love tonight with all of your heart. We're streaming it. We're going to have fun. It will be worth your time to stay to the very end. And it could be a while. You know why? Because Dr. Wallach's going to make sure that he speaks into your listening and he tells you what you need to hear to get your health on the right track. But with that, with our leadoff hitters here, it's even our opening act. You are going to go crazy. I haven't seen you, Dana. Hello to these two cousins in between James, too. Very cute. It is going to be a great night, an unbelievable night. But the guy that I want to bring up first, you guys have seen him on 9 News forever, on King Super's Optimal Wellness, on QVC, on literally all kinds of TV shows all over the world. James Rouse is an unbelievable guy. And I didn't really know him. I didn't love him. I've watched him. I've been a fan. I've always thought I wish I could meet that guy. And I finally got to meet him about 10 years ago. And we were kind of talking a little bit. And then about 4 months ago, I'm walking down the streets of Sydney, Australia. I'm deeply troubled at about 4 o'clock in the morning, sleep time, and I'm looking for an AA meeting. And I'm listening to kind of like a sign from God that things are going to be okay. And I open up my email, and there is a note from James Rouse. And he says, Tom, I just want to talk to you. And I didn't have any idea why I even dialed the phone. I thought he was just another fan. No, I'm kidding. I thought, wow, I can't believe James Rouse wants to talk to me. I think I'll hit send. So I hit send, and we talked for like an hour. And it was unbelievable. And this guy subsequently came aboard with longevity, and the rest is gonna be history. James Rouse.
Number one, gosh, Tommy, Doc, I love you. And Tommy, I love you too. I love your family. Do you guys hear me? Thank you. Because I am going to go ahead and give you this. So, I want to begin with and that is spirituality. Anyone here connected to spirit? Oh, yeah. So what I'd love for us all to do is take a moment, put our hands on our hearts, and close our eyes, and set an intention. Let's just close our eyes and allow ourselves to connect with our heartbeat. And let's let go of the human doing. Let's connect with the human being. And let's set an intention for the next few hours. That the type of love that we're going to experience over these next few hours is going to turn into hope for everyone who has the blessing to lay eyes on you. This church is There's a deficiency of hope today. It's even more deficient than selenium. And I do believe this is why we are gathered here this afternoon. To galvanize hope. And remember who we are. Self-love and self-care is social activism. It is what gets other people to pay attention to what looks like. So over these next few hours, as you start to have inside of you, which is human nature, which is the inner critic that wants to pop up and say, oh my gosh, you can't do that, what you're doing. Have you ever been a part of direct selling? I want to tell you about what I know about multi-level marketing. I was born into a form of multi-level marketing. 5 generations of alcoholism. A unique kind of marketing. Addiction. Multi-level marketing coming from not taking care of oneself, not taking care of one's soul, not understanding the power of what it means to be in the space of grace through what it looks like to actually be living a servant of hope versus just talking about it. So I hope this afternoon we get a chance to do what I really very big days. The Mayo Clinic talked about the power of delusional optimists. Who here is delusionally optimistic? Yes. You know what? We have to give ourselves permission to not try to dim our light to make the rest of the world more comfortable. Krishnamurti said, it is no mark of genius to align the profoundly sun. So we have to outshine darkness, don't we? We have to be willing to stand in the space of grace all day long, do it in a way that absolutely gives the ego no permission to get in the way, but let the light come through us. Here's what's beautiful. The number one galvanizing agent of what makes people attracted to us is hope. Is hope. It isn't whether or not we can pronounce phosphatidylserine. Thank goodness. It's hope. Here's what's beautiful about this afternoon. This right here, I talked to Doc just a moment ago, and Doc is somebody who profoundly changed my life nearly 30 years ago. I was on my way pursuing pre-med, getting ready to go on to allopathic medical school, and I received a cassette. Yes, I'm that old. I had a cassette drop, which I believe is divine orchestration. It dropped in, you're like, oh my gosh, what is this? It was Dead Doctors Don't Lie. I put it in my old International Harvester Scout 4-wheel drive. Very dated. And I decided to pursue an education for Dr. Wallach. We graduated from the same medical school. And 2 weeks ago, you know what? You're going, hey, how does that work? It just does. I think what we have to learn more and more these days, we try to intellectualize things that are not intellectual. We got to get out of our heads and into our hearts. We become phenomenal, attractive, beautiful human beings when we emanate hope from our heart. Not whether or not we have an opening benefit statement for a series of things. And I think the beautiful thing about this afternoon, we're going to remember only been here 2 weeks. He goes, perfect. So I want to share with you a little bit about what I've learned over the last 20, 25 years of this. I'm working with over 10,000 patients. And I hope you don't take notes. I want you to write this bill. And I want you to remember, please just remember who you are. Just remember who you are. Don't take notes. Stay out of your head. Here's what's beautiful. So I'm a huge believer in the power of how it is that we're in the witness area of seeing something that actually turns our light on. Pay attention to it. We've all been around beautiful human beings. We've all been around things that actually made our hearts go, oh my gosh, here's something powerful. Do you remember the show Kung Fu? Remember those bells would go off when something cool was going to happen? It was like a spiritual lesson was going to unfold before your eyes. You're like, oh my gosh, pay attention. And David Carradine has something awesome. So, as I said, I am the product of multi-level marketing when it comes to alcoholics. 5 generations of alcoholism. I'm the first one who's not. And I share that with you with humility because 36 years into this odyssey of sobriety, every morning I have to wake up and remind myself, what does love mean? What does it look like? How do we remind ourselves what love looks like? How do we actually become a demonstration of possibility? To me, the most beautiful guy in life is possibility. Waking up with an open heart and saying to yourself, oh my goodness, I'm just going to circulate and pollinate. That's all I'm doing. Circulate and pollinate. I'm going to look for people to make eye contact. Do you know what eye contact is? It's a superhero. If anyone knows what it's like to actually marinate oxytocin, oxytocin is beautiful. Oxytocin takes at least 7 seconds of hugging in order for it to be produced. Who's hugged someone for 7 seconds? Oh my gosh, you guys are overachievers. So I love that because you know what? Most people are, you know what? Here's what most people do. Sorry. Here's what most people do. They're in for the golf hug, right? It's like one moment out, okay, cool, we're good. That is like not remotely even going to get of oxytocin. So I'm going to share with you 5 beautiful practices that I've learned through 36 years of sobriety. 36 years of every single day reminding myself, what do I want to stand for? I want to stand for hope. I want us as a community to be delusionally optimistic. I want to see us become the change that we wish to see in the world. Rumi had one of the most powerful quotes. I read it when I was 20 years old, which is the first day that I actually started working on myself. The quote was, beyond right doing and wrongdoing, there is a field. I will meet you there. Beyond right doing and wrongdoing, there is a field. I will meet you there. Does anyone know where that field is? It's here. It's here. Are we willing to actually give ourselves permission to plant the field here at Longevity? Be farmers of hope, planting seeds of faith. Using our own self-love and our own self-care as a demonstration and declaration of social activism, so wildly awake and so beautiful, because here's what to me direct serving is really all about. It's simply being willing to be a director, a producer, and the lead in your own movie. Director, producer, and lead in your own movie. Because what we do know about direct serving is that people fall in love with beautiful people.
And beautiful people don't walk around telling people they're beautiful. Beautiful people are not hot, they're holy. Let's just let that marinate inside of us for a moment. What we do know about the people who are most aligned and, if you will, inspired to continually do the work that is necessary, to continually grow and to continually be that source for other human beings to lay eyes on, here's what I really want y'all to know. When I started practicing medicine, the thing I really was always looking for is I would pray before every patient came through the door. I'd literally be on my knees in my exam room. And I'd say, let me get out of the way so God, you tell me what is the way. So here's what happened every time. The little bells that Kung Fu had would happen as people would walk through my door and say, James, pay attention. Somebody beautiful is going to walk through the door. Somebody beautiful is getting ready to come in. Take notes. Discipline simply means being a student. I think all of us know the days that we feel most alive, right? Is it good morning, God, or is it good God morning? Right? I mean, which one is it? Like, I mean, my goodness. Who here sleeps with a phone within reachable distance from their pillow? That's like a support group. Hi, my name is James, and I have a phone within. I can actually reach it from my pillow. You know what? Over 70% of Americans can reach their phone from their pillow. And it's one of the reasons why we wake up with anxiety. The number one driver for why we wake up in fear is having the phone close enough to our bodies that we can actually reach it without getting out of bed. So, maybe our first practice could be putting our phone in the garage. I'm just saying, I mean, like, listen, I've only been here 2 weeks, so I have nothing to lose. I'm going to go ahead and just be myself. It's funny, I said to Tommy this morning, what should I do this afternoon? He goes, just be yourself. I go, good, because I don't use PowerPoints. I use Spirit. And Spirit always says, just get out of the way. Just get out of the way. So here's the 5 things I learned in practice. And what's so cool about these 5 practices, this is really what I really believe now, through seeing in science, really helps to not only extend our longevity, helps to really bonify our immune system, helps with our happiness, helps to fight inflammation. But over the course of seeing 10,000 patients, I was really curious, what are the ones that when they walk through the door, those bells on, I was like, oh my gosh, pay attention. Something beautiful is getting ready to happen. So the number 1 practice out of these 5, and this is something I believe that we are an epicenter here at Longevity for. Gratitude. 300 studies to date have been done in the last 5 years on the power of writing down at least one thing you're grateful for before you go to bed at night. Just one thing. One thing that you're grateful for will help you sleep better. One thing that you're grateful for the following morning will actually help support you as you wake up and want to choose good foods. One thing that you might be grateful for will actually encourage you to want to go outside and take a walk. How cool is that? Literally just saying, I am grateful to have a deep breath and feel my heart gives me permission the following morning to wake up and be so delusionally optimistic. I am literally doing cartwheels in front of the neighbor's house. You know what? I really believe the only reason I'm here at Longevity is to create what I'm going to call a well-being riot. Right? Wellness has been around for over 22 years. It's ubiquitous. And why are we so unhappy? We need to go deeper than the physical. Body composition is cool, but it is not creative. And I really believe so strongly today that if we are really going to live under the influence of what I love to call this longevity riot, it means that we are going to wake up the world from its self-imposed slumber party. by being those directors, those producers, and the lead in a movie that is so beautiful called You, we can't take our eyes off from you. How comfortable does that feel? It's uncomfortable, isn't it? How dare I be that beautiful? How dare I be that inspiring? How dare I be that awake to all the gifts that have been planted inside of me, and I'm not afraid to actually bring them out for the world to see. We don't just take these products that Doc Wallach helped bring to life because we want to be healthy. We want to be contagious. Are we willing to be contagious? In fact, do you want to see one of the coolest practices that will help you to be beautifully contagious? Yes. Look to your left and smile. I know, right? You're like going, I'm not so sure about that. I mean, can you imagine? So here's the science behind this, you guys. Listen, okay, I'm 57 years old. I don't care anymore. I don't care. You know what? Listen, I've been on Channel 9 for 21 years. You know the number one comment I get at Channel 9? What the heck are you so happy about? Most popular email. How does one answer, what the heck are you so happy about? You know how I answer them? Because I answer every single email. I'm 36 and a half years sober. That's what I'm so happy about. I've got two amazing children that I'm absolutely crazy about. Two beautiful, powerful young women. They're absolutely over the moon. And I have a wife who Dr. Wallach, I believe, is instrumental in having me meet because she also found her way to naturopathic medical school because of Doc, and we've been married for nearly 30 years now. So this guy that we love is also a Cupid, on top of an amazing doctor. So if you can't script all of this. But what we have to do is ask ourselves, is the movie that we're presently showing the world, is it beautiful enough to pay attention to? That's a big one, isn't it? Is the movie I'm presently producing, is it beautiful enough that people are going to pay attention to it? Is it that kind? Is it that loving? Is it that courageous? Is it that beautiful? Because only when it is do we actually build a community. We're not selling anything here, you guys. We're serving up something here. And the more that we realize we are alive to the degree that we serve, and our serving of this vessel is social activism that is so beautiful that people will never want to take their eyes off of you. Because there's no ego. There's no selling. It's just serving. That's how we build networks. That's how we build community. So gratitude's number one. Number two in the list of people I've seen over the course of nearly 30 years who had their lights on, number two, they played, they did not exercise. When was the last time you saw someone on a treadmill smiling? But when was the last time you played frozen tag and couldn't help but crack up? Tag is the ultimate interval training. Seriously. And you know what? Doc and I had a moment before we got a chance to begin today's program. I said, how fun will it be at convention if we actually play tag? and make sure everyone sees it on live Facebook. What are those guys doing? They're doing interval training. They're actually raising dopamine. They're raising serotonin. They're lowering cortisol. They're becoming delusionally optimistic. And by the way, they're also burning fat while they're doing it. Most importantly, they have molar exposing smiles. And when you show your molars, which I believe is varsity smiling, guess what's also happening? You're releasing something called endogenous opiates. Endogenous opioids are naturally occurring painkillers that happen when we laugh, when we smile. When we smile, not like cool kids. When we are so wonderfully vulnerable, they see everything. And you know what's so beautiful about vulnerability? Vulnerability is the house of hope. The more that we're willing to share our stories and broadcast what we've been through and what we've overcome, the more people feel welcome to our story. Nobody cares how awesome you are. They want to know how you became awesome. I love a story of how someone became awesome. I love the humility and grace that it takes to actually be a good storyteller in such a way that you're not afraid to be seen. Not just a human highlight reel that is Facebook. When you're knee to knee, eye to eye with someone that you love and care about, you let them see your soul through your eyes. So we play versus exercise. Number 3, we enjoy functional food. Emphasis on fun. If you don't enjoy eating kale chips, don't eat them. Here's what I love about functional food. This right here, look around this room right now, you guys, just look around. This is primary nutrition. This room is primary food. Your community feeds you first. People your life well. Be a courageous decorator of how you want to see beautiful people who see your gold and never let you forget how good you are all day long. They love you that well because that's food. And I know through my journey, I grew up on a farm in Vermont. I didn't grow up in Boulder, contrary to popular demand. Listen, I love Boulder, but I grew up in a farm in Vermont, and I was a truck driver. I put myself through undergrad, grad, and medical school driving truck. I also was a great cook, and I also was a heck of a ditch digger. I've done everything. And the only way that I could do all of those things, because spiritually, God told me people your life well. Be a courageous decorator of your life. Make sure you plant people all around you who love and love on you. And will never let you forget how good you are. That is primary food. Number 4, optimism. Oh my gosh, am I delusionally optimistic? And I'm telling you, why do I love the idea of waking up every morning and saying, good morning, God, versus good God morning? It's really simple for me. Because what the Mayo Clinic says is that people who carry inside of themselves a predisposition to moderate delusional optimism have the lowest levels of systemic inflammation. Oh my gosh. You know what helped me do that? I haven't watched television in 30 years. You know what? And I understand things aren't that great. But I really don't know. Because as far as I can see from here, everything is really good. TV is overrated. So is the news. So I would encourage you, maybe take a media fast. You talk about intermittent fasting, why not take a media fast? Why not turn off your television for a whole week and make eye contact with someone who's much more interesting than CNN or Fox or anybody else? You want to melt someone's heart, including your own? Make eye contact longer than when it's comfortable. Turn off your televisions. There's nothing there. The 5th thing. 12,000 studies coming out of the NIH say one beautiful thing about all of us. One of the greatest longevity medicines under the sun is either mindfulness or prayer. You can mix them together. They both work. What happens when we gather in community for something bigger than ourselves? Our telomeres dance. Our DNA starts to expand in possibilities. Anybody here have less than an awesome blueprint for their DNA? other than me. 5 generations of alcoholics, heart disease, cancer. Oh my goodness, the list goes on. That's my DNA. Anybody else got something similar? How do we outlove that blueprint? By being very intentional about how you get up in the morning, how you go about navigating your day. The biology of your belief will always win. But you have to be delusional sometimes during times like this, because you know what? Moderate delusional optimism is suspect. Making eye contact is suspect. Smiling with all of your teeth showing is suspect these days. And that's exactly why this company exists. We are permission givers. We create a space of grace by literally producing an epic motion picture that is that beautiful, that we will never take our eyes off one another. Here's a beautiful, great story for you. So when I was a little boy, I was an altar boy growing up. Can you believe it? I mean, and I'm dyslexic, and I have a lot of energy. So my mom said, you know what's going to be great? I have a feeling that putting you on the altar would be awesome. So here's why my mom wanted to do this. So for many, literally 15, 16, 17 weeks, every Sunday, just before communion, I would hyperventilate and faint in church. I would literally start to hyperventilate. I would crash down on the floor. And the perfect thing was like Pavlov's dog, right? All we would do is go, get him outside. I'm 7 years old. You think I want to be in church? No way, I want to be outdoors. So every Sunday, they reinforced it. Hyperventilate, pass out. Sister Teresa would say, go outside and get some fresh air. Score! Oh my gosh, this is awesome! Until one Sunday, my mom said, guess what? You're going to be an apprentice as an altar boy. Oh no. So that Sunday, I'm up there the first time on that, just before communion. I couldn't help myself. I just started hyperventilating. I could see my mom 3 pews in going, don't you? She's lip syncing like Milli Vanilli going, what are you doing? And I went down in a heat. They stopped the mass. I was given permission to go outside. I went outside, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. And then I realized there's actually a ladder going up to the top of the church. I'm 7 years old. I'm dyslexic. I'm ADD. I'm like, this is. I climb the ladder, and all of a sudden, I am on top of the church. And I'm feeling omnipotent right now. I am like, oh my gosh. And then I wheeled around to the front of the church, and there's actually a vented window that looks into the church. I got to that vented window, and like anybody, you'll do the same thing, trust me. Hello! It reverberates through the entire church. People are like going, oh my gosh. Hello! Everyone is just, oh my gosh. And then my mom looks up, I can see her lip syncing like, I think it was an F-bomb, but I'm not sure. It wasn't good. It wasn't good. And then my mom jumps out of church, and she runs out of church. And she literally is on the roof of the church like in a second and a half. And she grabs me. And she said, you are going to be spending the next half an hour with Father Ball. Oh, boy. Father Ball is 7'13". And Father Ball is waiting for me. And that's not good. He just did this. And I followed him back. I'm little, and I was even littler. We sat down like this. He just looked at me. And then he got up. And I started doing an act of contrition like nobody's business. And he came over, he did this. he said, Jimmy, you've got a gift. And I see it. And I love you. I ran out of that office like Superman. I got my mom's card. She goes, well, what happened in there? Like, oh, she's so excited to hear how much ugliness happened. And I was like, Father Ball said I have a gift. So I get, the next morning, I get up and I run around. And I'm like, I make my bed for the first time in 7 years. I like made it nice, like really neat. I got up and I was like, I'm ready for school. I've never been ready for school. And I ran around to catch the bus, and I ran the corner, and all of a sudden, I see my dad passed out in the driveway, shit-faced. And all of a sudden, all that zeal just left my body. And then I remember Father Ball, and I just like stood over my dad, and I ran back inside, and I grabbed an Afghan off my bed. It's Vermont, it's cold. And I wrapped up my dad in that blanket, and I kissed him on his cheek. And I caught that school bus. And you know what? Father Ball knew my family was falling apart. And you bet I was a hyperactive pain in the neck. And he could have easily crushed me. But instead, he decided to go inside and find my gold. Pull it out and let me see it. What do we do in network marketing? It's direct serving. We help people to find their gold when they can't see it. So many people are carrying so much heaviness right now. We are here to pollinate possibility. We are here to find people's gold, help them to see it, so they can see how good they are too. It's direct serving. Longevity is a spiritual community disguised in direct selling. Thank you.
Thank you for that ovation. I was just what I was saying. All right, good. So anyway, how do you like the new longevity? Does this feel good? Does this feel warm? Does this feel you? Yes. Direct serving, unbelievable. Well, he's got